We are live. Friday Night Live, 30th of July. I'm going to try August for a minute. It has run along quite quick this year, but it hasn't run along that quick. What are we talking about tonight?
I'm going to have a go at Facebook.
Yeah. You're going to crack at Facebook. Phil's going to have some old shit. Alright, Phil.
Old shit.
Old shit.
Fairly, not just occasionally, but fairly often we get very old guns brought to us and see if we can resurrect them, make them look complete again, or even make them shootable again. And this old piece of gear is an old, what was called 6mm Flowbird. Shoots a tiny little, like a short 22 caliber projectile. The barrel is very rusty inside. I'll give it a scrubbing up. Quite often they didn't even have rifling in them. They were known as garden guns for shooting the odd garden, yeah, the odd pest in the garden.
And they were kind of like parlour guns as well, weren't they?
Like
little
parlour
flowers.
guns. That's what these were used for as well. They were an indoor target range, you know, and the ladies and the gentlemen took part in it.
Puffing on your pipe and spilling your cognac.
Yeah, that's right, yeah, all the good stuff. But this one came to us and it was missing the main spring, which is a V-shaped leaf spring, and the little conrod that connects the hammer to the underneath the flexible part of the spring. And the system is fairly simple, you know. The most intricate part would have been making the barrel most likely, drilling a hole all the way through. Very light little stock, wooden stock, one-piece stock. This one's had a chip taken out of it, which is a real shame because otherwise it's pretty well original. Steel butt plate inletted into the heel of the butt. A little bit of checkering on the forend as well as on the hand. Would have been quite a nice little gun when it was made. The interesting part about this is there's no lockup mechanism, no extractor, as we would know in a modern firearm. I'll just take the little pin out of the conrod.
Zeros.
So I don't, because the spring, although I've made it to shape, it's still soft. It's still in its anneal state. I haven't hardened it yet. Haven't tempered it. So, but the system was you cocked it and put a case round in the chamber, and it was cocked. So when you fired it, the hammer came down and struck it. There were little rimfire cases, of course. There's a bar across the middle of the hammer that struck the case, and so it doubly crushed the case and set it off. But got two little ears on the face of the bolt, which are undercut with a slightly dovetail. So when they hit the case, and the case head expanded a little bit, they gripped the rim of the case. And when you went to cock it the second time, pull the case out of the chamber. Whether it works or not, we'll see. But that was the theory behind it all.
Well, I mean, brass does that, so the obturation effect.
Yeah.
So they're kind of just a really short rimfire, weren't they?
Yeah, very.
Like almost like a starting gun type thing, weren't they?
Yeah.
And it was just
They had a tiny little. There were two types. One had a little pointed projectile in it. The other just had a round ball.
Mm.
And
it was powered just by like the primer or something like that.
virtually, there might have been, you know, a smidgen of actual gunpowder in there. But they more likely depended on the primer compound to be powerful enough to drive the projectile out of the barrel. But yeah, rudimentary sights, front and back, in dovetails. So I did a fair bit of work to make them work.
So were the sights good enough for precision garden shooting, or?
Yes, they were.
Yep.
Like if you wanted to shoot a
I
crow,
was going to say,
you could shoot him in the left eye without any trouble whatsoever.
Is that right?
With these sights, yeah.
I was going to say, I reckon I could hit a quarter-acre garden with one of those sights.
Oh yeah, I reckon you would have to have a handful of ammunition for a start.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
And probably do more damage if you threw it at them.
Yeah, most likely.
Were they adjustable?
No, they were. If you had a big hammer, you could knock them sideways.
Yeah, a dovetail. Of course they're adjustable.
You wouldn't adjust them for elevation, unfortunately. No.
Oh, so you couldn't shoot. You couldn't shoot at distance, is what you're telling me.
No, that's right. It'd be like,
Wow. Highly disappointing.
yeah, I'll bet.
What about if you just filed the front sight down?
Well, you could. Then you'd have to, for the next shot though, you'd have to raise it up a bit to. It's a bit closer, you know.
Yeah, a bit hard to put stuff back on, I suppose.
What if we just carried some blue tack in our pocket and we just
Yeah.
added a bit to the front sight?
I don't think they had blue tack in about 1900.
No?
Oh, they would have had.
That's disappointing.
Probably had chewing gum, but no blue tack. Yeah. But yeah, most of these, or a lot of these firearms were made in Belgium. This one sports the Belgian proof mark on it for smokeless powder, ELG in a circle. I don't know if you can see it.
No, I don't think we can see it there.
But there's an ELG there, which is the Belgian proof mark for smokeless, and on the lock as well. But that's barely visible at all. It's there, but it's under a modicum of rust. But you can see it was originally blued. The original finish is still on it, where it's under the wood. But yeah, a little curiosity. Something that takes the boredom out of
Not having a TV?
yeah, not having TV or fixing MD2 chassis bloody tickers and things like that, which you know.
Oh, you had to go and bring that up, did you?
Yeah.
You had to go and bring that up.
Run of the mill bloody rubbish, you know.
If any of you guys out there want to buy a Ticker TAC 21 chassis from MDT and want me to fit it, I fought one and fought one and fought one for, it felt like hours.
And this was last week, wasn't it?
No, it was this week, I'm pretty certain.
Oh.
Zane came out and fixed it.
Zane, and as much as I hate to say it, Zane actually came out and helped me for once and put it together.
I felt sorry for you.
He did, he felt sorry for me. And I don't know what was worse, me not being able to put it together or him being able to do it and rub my face in it. So, yeah. I think next time anybody wants a TAC 21 chassis, you can go make it yourself.
Just the ESS. No, TAC 21.
Just the TAC 21, yeah. I can put all the other ones together without a problem. Skilled enough to do that, but yeah.
TAC 21's horrible.
It's probably not that bad. I just keep getting the bad ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, whether you get a Remington that you got to put a TAC 21 on, that's real fun.
I had a Savage, and that was worse.
Was it? Oh, good.
That was literally the worst thing I've ever done. Worse than committing war crimes, really.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Sorry, MDT. I'm actually going to back these up in a minute, though. So
Anyway, that's just a little project that I've been dabbling in on and off for the last couple of 3 weeks.
So what you're saying is you're not going to put the flow bear in a TAC 21 chassis?
No, we won't put this in a TAC 21 chassis. I don't know.
Why not?
Don't make one.
Where does it say I can't put one of them in a TAC 21 chassis?
I reckon it'll look great in a TAC 21.
Oh no, you need a round receiver and that's not.
yeah, Peter. Yeah, now there'll be lots of guns ordered with TAC 21s. Yeah. And that's all right. I'll just send it home with you, and you can do it.
Put it in a box.
Yeah, it'll be like, thanks for buying it. Catch you later.
Well, there you go, folks. A little piece of, around about 1900 this would have been made. Even perhaps in the late 1890, 1900, 1910 maybe. So it's a good century old, which is not unusual for firearms. Firearms tend to last for years and years and years if they're looked after, even modern firearms.
What's the barrel on it like?
Terrible.
Horrendous.
What are we talking about? Well, that's fucking horrible. What are we talking about looking after guns then? This thing.
Yeah.
You haven't even tried to clean it though.
No, I
It's got
haven't.
half of. It's still got a wasp in there, like a spider or something. It's fucking shit house.
What is this?
Because I wonder if it's a Belgian spider.
Lights going, is it?
Yeah, I haven't got a temper this spring.
It's a nice little stock, that, I reckon.
What spring?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's only a deal. And
You'll have to harden it and temper it.
Needs to harden the temper.
Which we have the hectology to do.
Sure.
Now that we've done a few of them.
Had to make a little conrod to join the hammer to the string. That was missing as well. Whatever.
Oh, that's something you can talk about.
It's a dainty little rifle. Well, you got something else old and all is that a special pin that I made.
G'day, Matty. How'd you go when you got home?
Got in trouble from it.
Well, likely.
What else have you got?
Oh, we'll just talk about that.
Got cornet. And what about your tools and
Cool.
your reamer? What about your gauges and your reamer?
Yeah, alright, I'll get them.
Yeah.
For those of you wondering, that isn't a Flaubert cartridge.
No, that's not a flow bear. We've given up talking about flow bears. We're now talking about 22 Hornet, which that is. That's a 22 Hornet. Popular little case. In WA, it used to be the popular case. That's a chamber cast of a special K Hornet. Special K, as in
All the ones in glass.
cereal, breakfast food.
Oh, yeah. But we're not allowed to have them.
No, we are, but.
We are. We can do it. We can drink them off camera.
Just drink it over there with Trent.
Where's your gauges and so on?
I had an ulcer on my tongue.
Where's the
Six
original
like
K
shit.
Hornet gauge?
Well,
Fuck's sake. You want the whole K or
Yeah, K Hornet Reamer, sorry. Yeah. And yeah, so we had this guy bring in a earlyish model, like about 40 years old, Bruno 22 Hornet, and he wanted it turned into a K, but he wanted something special. He wanted it with a shorter neck than normal, so that he could load a little bit more powder, because the shoulder will be further forward.
Which you would have seen recently, some people who get online and whatnot would have seen that there was a guy won the fly, 500 metre fly just recently with a bloody half-inch group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
seen that.
half-inch group at 500 metres. Impressive, yeah?
Amazing. That's
Um,
not even impressive. That's amazing.
Did I build a rifle for him, did I?
No, Kerry built the
Oh,
rifle.
did he?
But it was a 6mm dasher. 6mm dasher, I'll grab the cases. A dasher is exactly this, with the shoulder push forward. Now, dasher needs a lot more case prep though, because it hasn't got a rimmed headspace on.
Okay, is that good?
I think they like
Anyway,
hydroform them or something.
this guy particularly wanted this short-necked 22 Hornet K'd out, so our original K Hornet would have left him with about a 6mm neck, and he wants about a 5mm neck. He'll get a little bit more case.
so is a K Hornet a bit like an Ackley improved?
Yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Same concept, so it takes the taper out of the case, because the Hornet cases have got a fair bit of taper, don't they?
Yeah.
Hornet cases have got a fair bit of taper and a big long shoulder, so it takes the taper out of the case, sharpens the shoulder up, but it keeps the shoulder in roughly the same position where it is now. But by K-ing it, you sharpen the shoulder up, and now this is, I don't know,
Triple K.
no, a
Special
common
K.
term for this sort of stuff. Another gunsmith called Gibbs used to do that sort of shit a lot.
Not the same fella that has the big Gibbs.
505 Gibbs could be, yeah. I'm not sure.
Anyway, we
Got like 6mm06 Gibbs and shit like that. Is
Did you
just
have a
shot.
404?
we did a little bit of. You didn't get the K Hornet Reamer.
404 Jeffrey.
You got a
Jeffrey.
Hornet Reamer.
That was in the K Hornet. Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's
All
right.
Anyway.
Gotta stop swearing.
Just to be sure what we were doing, we reamed the barrel out with the K Hornet reamer, which Zane's gone to get. That's the original reamer compared to our reamer that we made. You can see the sharp shoulders, almost parallel case. Just gives it about between 10 and 12% of extra case capacity. Anyway, we reamed the chamber with the K Hornet, the original K Hornet reamer, and then Zane made these two little gauges. And what they are, this gauge drops down and sits in the chamber where the neck finishes, and then we measure from here to the face of the barrel, record that, and in the K Hornet chamber, this gauge drops in and hits the shoulder, so we know where the shoulder is. Measure that, and the difference between the two
must be how long the neck is.
Must be how long the neck is. So then, by using the reamer that Zane made, we can then put that in the chamber and ream the shoulder forward because that's all it's going to be cutting at the shoulder edge. Cut it in another mil, measure again with the gauges. Hey presto, we've got a 5 mil 4.9 or whatever it is. And just to prove it, we got this material called Cerasafe, which is it looks like solder or linotype or something like that, but it isn't. It's pewter or pewter, yeah. But it has a melting point of less than 100 degrees C, so you can put this in a boiling water and it will melt. So you just have to warm it up.
So what do we warm it up with?
Oxy-torque.
Oxy.
Yeah, it's quick.
You don't want to fuck around.
No, you don't want to fuck around. Anyway,
You could warm it up with a 9-inch angle grinder.
no, that's a bit beyond it. So all we do is we put the barrel in upright position, plug it with an oiled patch just beyond the chamber, like just into the rifling, and then we've got a little crucible, warm the metal up until it's molten, make sure it's nice and molten, just warm the barrel up a little bit so that it's warm to touch, so when you pour the metal in, it doesn't harden straight away in a cold chamber, and then just fill it up until it fills up the chamber. Let it cool off for about 2 or 3 minutes, push it out with a cleaning rod, and there you have the chamber, a perfect cast of the chamber. And then you can measure off various points to make sure of your dimensions.
You be careful with this Cerasafe stuff. If you do put it in a chamber, you need to get it out straight away, yeah? As soon as it's hardened, you got to get it out, because it'll contract a little bit, and then when it goes hard, it actually expands again.
Yeah.
So if you leave it in the chamber too long, it'll expand, you won't get the bastard out.
Unless you reheat it.
Unless you heat the whole thing up, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just warm it up before they run out.
But the other good thing that this is good for is seeing where your throat is in the gun as well, you know, so where the rifling starts.
Yeah,
and
this one, we actually got a imprint of the rifling on it as well. But guys use this material for other jobs as well. If you're not sure of a thread in a rifle, and you've got a screw missing, you don't know what the thread is, you can, what people have done is drop a wire or something like that in there, Allen key, tiny little Allen key, smaller than the thread, pour Cerasafe in around it, let it harden, screw it out, and then you've got your thread to measure.
I do it a slightly different way.
Do you?
Yeah, I measure roughly, just with a set of calipers, what the thread is, and then I just run a tap through it in whatever I think it's closest to, and then it's whatever I want it to be.
So when I worked on cars, I just put my rattle gun on it and just made it what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, well, that's the difference between you blokes. I'm a little bit more refined than that.
Yeah, well, you know what? Tight's tight.
Yeah, true.
Plus, it's great if you you have a cavity and you don't want to go to the dentist.
Well, I was thinking like
Just do your own fillings.
custom butt plugs.
Fitted.
Oh, good. Anyway, folks, that's
No, you want them out of stainless steel so you can put them in the dishwasher.
In the
This one will just fucking disappear in the dishwasher.
I just thought this is so you could make the mould.
Well, I suppose you could make one out of this stuff, and then when you need to get rid of it in a hurry to hide the evidence, you just chuck it in the dishwasher and it disappears.
You just go for a shower.
Yeah,
Pours out.
yeah, that's it. No more going to emergency to get them taken out.
well, I don't know about you, but
Oh,
anyway, folks,
oh.
that's the oil strip for tonight.
You could even cast a bit of chain on
A little
it. or
bit of-
something.
So you just pull it
Just
out.
pull it out like
Just
starting a
like
lawnmower.
lawnmower.
Yeah.
Ah!
I'm sure.
We haven't got a single like or thought.
Everyone's hitting it over going,
What?
sick fucks.
What did we turn into?
So you would have seen, most people would have seen the 6mm BR. That's
Hi,
a 6mm
everybody.
BR, yeah. 6mm BR is an exceptionally good long range calibre, but a lot of people want just a little bit more grunt to make sure your bullet stays supersonic at 1,000 metres.
Sorry, 6mm punchy.
So to give you an idea, your bullets are subsonic, right?
At what?
They're subsonic,
At what distance?
1,000.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's a 243 to give you an idea.
Wow.
So same bullet, but obviously smaller case. To get a little bit more grunt, people turn them into 6mm dashes. That is a 6mm dasher. So you'll see that the neck is much shorter, so the shoulders push forward. So what you're going to do is you're going to get BR cases, you neck them up to like 30 cal, and then you neck them back down to 6mm, and it gives you a pissy little shoulder in the right position, and then you form your case. Silly idea, but that's what they do.
Seems like a lot of work.
You know what a better idea
Can you
is,
just buy
Gary?
dasher brass?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think anyone
What's the
does.
difference between the dasher and like the XC?
XC is between a BR and a dasher, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, okay, so not much.
Yeah. Actually, I've probably got an XC here. Take that.
G'day everyone, while he's looking for that, I'll give you a rundown of our week. We've been flat out. Thank you for you guys that have tried to call and haven't got through. We have been running pretty understaffed this week and have tried our best. I believe we got back to most people. But yeah, no, thanks very much for having your patience with us. We've done what we can. We also had a bit of a...
XC's bigger again. I didn't realise.
Oh, there you go.
That 6mm XC.
That's closer to a 2.3, isn't it?
That's punchy. No one cares about that.
Everyone cares about that. Now that's the 6mm cartridge to have. Right there, that one. Look at it. Look at it. It's as sexy as the guy that runs it.
Look at the XC. Look at it compared to a 6.5 Creedmoor. It's fucking exactly the same. XC is probably just a 20-250 next up and blown out.
Next.
Next
up. Next
I've
up.
got an ulcer on my tongue. Fuck you. Like, it's
what you get from-
fucking sore.
That's what you get from licking arsehole.
That's why I have like breakouts around my mouth.
That's herpes.
That's a 6.5 Creedmoor, just for comparison, just so you guys can see. But you can actually get 6mm Creedmoor brass, and that's probably the cartridge that I would recommend if you wanted to fuck around with this sort of shit. 6mm Creedmoor.
It would be easier because you could buy factory dies for
Yeah,
it.
just buy dies and brass
Yeah.
and that sort of shit.
Yeah,
But
not,
that just gives you an idea on the different cartridges.
not wait on
But
someone.
that was the
builds your dies
cartridge
for
that
4
broke
years.
that shot. I don't know if you broke a record or not, but half an inch group at 500
You'd
metres.
have, you'd have to imagine that is a record. Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good. Alrighty, so John Bruce, can you talk about the 300 PRC and what you think of that compared to other 30 cals?
Sure. I've got to pack it up, haven't
Oh, it's like we already knew what you were going to ask today, John.
I? Well, I was going to talk about it because we had that ammo rock up.
We did. We've only got one packet of it left though.
Wow.
So that's
Someone came in and bought the rest of it.
Yeah, so I got 10 packets in, which I didn't even think I was going to get that. 6 were pre-sold, had 4 left for the shelf, and they're gone. And like that, gone.
These are all out of my collection, so I was going to fuck them up. So So that's the PRC.
Did I put it next to something?
Is that why I'm missing brass?
What do you want to put it next to?
308.
300 mag.
Yeah, here in the mag.
Right. Thank you. Alrighty, so 300 PRC. 300 Win Mag. And then the... Oh, Cubus is on. Hello, Cubus.
Hey, Cubus.
Cubus. How's Queensland treating you? And then there's your 308.
Someone put up a comment the other day on Facebook, said if there was someone new coming into Queensland, what would you tell them? And Cubus said, fuck off, we're full.
It's a bit rough, Cubus.
And I replied, full of cunts.
Now, I've been instructed through multiple viewer things that apparently we use the C word too much on this channel.
What kind of cunt would say something like that?
So I'm going to do my best, and if anybody knows me, this is
Okay,
very,
so
very
you
hard
want me
for
to-
me.
So you want me to stop saying...
No, you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to say, for me, I'm going to try and stop saying C word. It's very, very difficult. If I do slip the odd one in, it's just because I can. And I probably haven't even noticed that I have, but...
Maybe we need to get like a censor button for the Friday Night
Maybe we
Live.
could.
I mean, it's got to have Ross.
Sure, the PRC is not even in this bloody reloading, man.
No, you need the
This is
10th, you
gold.
need the 10th edition. 10th edition.
So what's
Let's
this?
go.
Ninth?
Yeah,
Ninth.
that's
So the
the
9th edition doesn't have
So go to the
300.
10th. And why would it?
So what do we got?
I don't know if you guys, well, we got 308, which is the 175 grain Scanner in the Seiko TRG setup. In the 300 Win Mag, we got the 180 grain Power Shock from Federal. And in this one, this is the Hornady 300 PRC with the 212 grain ELDX.
So to give you an idea, 180 grainer shoots it at 2,600 feet per second. Yeah?
And just
300 Win Mag. I'm going to use all the data out of here.
Just for you, Dave, there's your 30 fucking aught 6. Fuck you. Right there. Right next to that, Dave.
So 308, 20, what did I say? 2,600 feet per second. 3006, 180 grainer.
Bloody cold out there.
You're talking almost 2,800 feet per second. Just shy of 28, so 26, 28. That's 3,000 feet per second.
How much extra powder is the 3006
about
burning?
12 grains.
About 12 grains?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's around about 42. He's
Yep.
about 54.
Yep.
This is off the top of my head.
Yep.
180 grainer in him. You're
Yes.
burning up in the high 70s, nearly 80 grains of powder, and you're touching on 3,000 feet per second. Just shy of 3,000 feet per second with 300 Win Mag.
There you go.
And then 300 PRC. They don't have a fucking 180 grainer. They got a 180 grain E-tip, but that's solid copper, yeah?
Yeah.
190
On the rocks.
grainer. Well, shooting 190 grainer well over 3,000 feet per second, yeah?
What's it punching the 212 at?
Just shy of 2,900.
So 2,900 feet per
ADI
second.
fucking load. That's a Hornady factory round. It's probably going fast.
Yeah.
It's probably written on the back of the packet.
They reckon, no, they're only reckon 2860.
What?
Yep.
Dang.
2860. That's still honking for a 212 grain projectile.
Yeah. So we'll go with 190 because it's 190 Akibon, 83 222.
But it has
190 grain.
all the technical advancements that you'd expect from a new cartridge. So you're not head spacing off the rim, or off the belt, sorry. You're doing modern things instead of old, outdated ideas that came up when people didn't have the technology to keep or to advance to where these are now. You know, it's all the build up to it. This will eventually make this redundant.
Yeah.
300 Win Mag?
Yeah.
No, it won't. It won't. So this cartridge here, it's only a few grains more in capacity, which is surprising. I thought it would be more. But the 300 Win Mag shoulder is further forward, yeah? But that's in itself a disadvantage because this one, the 300 PRC, does allow more room for the projectile, so you can shoot higher BC produce. But it's also fatter at the base. That is the most ballistically capable cartridge at the moment that's getting approved by licensing without going through this VPF shit.
They're approving the 300 PRC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. We haven't had a single issue getting one through. So get on them. The only downside at the moment is there is very, very little factory ammunition. And there is little options. There's basically two that I know
You had
of.
some of that rock up this week.
Yep.
You had some 6.5 as well, didn't you?
Yep, I've got some Seiko TRG 6.5.
No, Hornady. 140 grain BLD.
Oh, yeah, that was pre-sold though.
No.
Yeah, so that's all pre-sold. That's gone.
You got more ordered?
Yep.
Is that sold?
Most of it, yeah. I do have some for the shelf coming.
Okay.
But there wasn't any in this country. So what was out the back didn't even make up that guy's order.
Okay.
And then what I've got ordered, I would only have probably 20 packets left after that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
So we're getting a bit of Hornady ammo coming through though, so. Which is good, because Hornady projectiles are really, ballistically, very, really good. Anyway.
You want me to bring out a TR3 to compare?
no.
Oh. Why not?
Alright, so 300 PRC. Good round.
So, and there's multiple manufacturers making the rifles in 300 PRC now. Just recently we sold a Bagara B14 HMR. Awesome setup.
What are they supersonic out to? Depends on the atmospherics.
Yeah.
But 1300?
I thought they were about 1200 off the top of my head, but I can't remember.
Okay, it'll be at least 1200.
Yeah. It was far enough.
So it depends on the atmospherics as much as it does anything else. But yeah.
But yeah, Bagara, any of the Seiko range, I believe tickers are starting to come out in them as well. I have to double check that. But
And of course, if you want anything built, like what I'd like to do, and I haven't been here to sook to you about it, but what I'd like to do is get a Lithgow LA102 and turn it in 300 PRC. Like, I'd probably want to replace the barrel though, because the barrels are only 1 in 11, and they're only 22 inches long.
would you
So
have,
if you want something that's going to breathe fire, that'd be fucking good
I
fun.
thought they were 1 in 10. 308.
No, 1 in 11.
would you have enough room in the action to eject a non-spent cartridge? Would it be able to throw it?
Probably not, but that sounds
Just
like,
shoot
it.
that sounds like a person.
Well,
Yeah,
PRC.
so just shoot it, yeah.
Will it fit in the magazine though?
Yeah, 300 mag magazine would fit.
You reckon?
There is a good looking Bagara 300 PRC out the back, isn't there? Yep, there is. It's not for sale, it's already sold. But there is plenty more. So if the Wilderness, so it's the Bagara B14 HMR Wilderness, if that's something that strikes you as a rifle that you might want, bear in mind it does have a 26-inch barrel and a factory muzzle brake. It is a wicked setup.
What,
Yeah.
2 straight barrel?
Hey?
2 straight barrel.
I don't know off the top of my head. I've got the book up there though, so I can look at it.
Because one of the things that people need to keep in mind is that if you're going to have a 300 PRC, you want to make the most out of it. Our manufacturer 300 PRC with a 1 in 8.5 twist barrel. 1 in 8.5 twist barrel, which stabilises like the big 230 grain A-tips and stuff like that. So,
Well- If the Bagara's still here on Wednesday, I'll get some photos of it. But
why have we got a plain ball colour?
Why wouldn't you?
Just
here, have a reading catalogue then.
Sorry. I don't know if people are getting into reloading or not, but reading gear is, so if you want conventional
It's a 1 in
presses and stuff without going into your
It's a 1 in
inline dyes and shit, Reading is one of the best brands out there. I love Reading gear.
And if you want to talk reloading,
1 in 9.
Okay, so slightly slower, but looking at the stabilities that we're looking at today,
Yeah, that's not going to
it'll
matter.
probably stabilise most of the big heavy produce.
Yeah.
but going back to reloading, we're doing a reloading course in a couple of weeks.
Yes, I'm doing a reloading course in a couple of weeks.
That is a nice looking rifle.
Second Thursday next month. So what's that in 2 Thursday times? Not this Thursday, the following Thursday. So anyone who wants to sign up to that, it's $95 or whatever it is.
Yep, 95.
What's
Peter,
that?
to get the most out of it, what barrel length would you recommend?
I Oh, you're asking me? Or?
26.
No, you want a 28.
Nah, 26. You don't want it too long.
You want them, if you want to get the most out of it,
You've got to
you get
carry
a
it.
28 inch fucking.
You've got to carry it. Then you put them on the
Not everyone's got pissy little fucking hands like yours.
Yeah, but I've got massive shoulders.
If they got massive, yeah, what, you're going to shoot off your shoulders?
Of course.
You want to hold the gun up though, and you've got man hands, 28 inch barrel.
If you want
If
to
it
carry it
weighs
through the bush,
oh, it weighs too much.
If you want
Get
to
a
carry
slightly
it up a
thinner
building-
barrel that's a bit longer.
if you want to carry it up a mountain, why would you go for a 28 when you go for a 26? It's still going to hit as hard.
What mountain in WA are people going to fucking climb up?
Mount Sheila,
Where the fuck's Mount Sheila?
Pilbara.
Maps over there.
Who goes up to the Pilbara and doesn't just drive?
You can drive to the top of Mount Sheila, and then you can shoot down it.
So you're not carrying it up there anyway. Car's carrying it up there. 28 inch barrel.
Hard to get out the window though. 26 is easier.
26 is still difficult. Like, unless you're shooting at a 20, 22 inch barrel,
Do you know what's
you're miles
difficult?
over 30 inch
Do you know
barrel.
what's difficult?
Me.
You. Alright.
It's not that I'm difficult, it's just that you're always wrong.
Any triple F black powder? No.
No.
Not at all. Trent
Black
looks like
powder's going to be one of those things that we will probably very, very sporadically get if we can get it.
Jay, I hate to put it to you, mate, but the camera adds about, for in my case, about 45 kilos. So, yes, I've climbed up a few mountains. I know you don't believe it, but many.
Again, more horn in the ammo, Super Performance 3006 180 grain SST.
SSTs.
That would be a really good camel sort of cartridge if you're shooting them within 100 metres, 150 metres. Shoot them through the chest with that, no problems at all.
Yep, senior, no worries. I'll put you down on that list for the reloading course, mate.
Is it senior or junior?
That was senior, that one.
These are new. Can you tell us about these?
Yeah,
Because
so it's
they weren't here when I was here last.
no, so they are literally just the CCI mini mags. So they're the 36 grain mini mags, which are the copper plated hollow points. But I cannot get them in the 100 packs currently. So they do these brand new meat eater. So they've got Steve Ranella on them in a 300 pack.
Who the fuck, Steve? Why would you know that? Who that person?
Steve Ranella has a YouTube channel called Meat Eater, and he goes around the world and he hunts different game and he eats it.
Raw.
No, he cooks it.
Oh.
In actual fact, most of his episodes he doesn't get fuck all, which is pretty crazy. But
That's why he's so skinny.
yeah, and he walks a lot, climbs mountains
With a 28-inch
with
barrel.
a 26-inch barrel because you wouldn't use a 28 because he's a smart guy.
Can't be that smart. He's trying to eat a fucking squirrel.
Well, maybe he's not. Maybe that's just his friend.
Like, if you're going to
His
put an
friends
ad
just-
on the front of your
his-
meat
his-
eater thing,
his
you'd have
friends
like
just-
a bison or a fucking...
His friends
or
just-
some exotic sheep or something, not a squirrel.
But you wouldn't shoot a fucking bison with a 22mm mini mag,
You'd
would
have
you?
a crack at it.
You go, pop, 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 fuck, pop, pop, pop,
It's
pop,
still
pop.
just an ad.
Fuck.
Made that swarm of angry bees submachine gun.
Honestly, CCI do this stuff. Remember when they did the
Zombie
the
hunter?
gator people?
Yeah,
You know, like
Yeah, shoot him.
get them.
Swamp
People,
swamp people, bloody...
You know, and it just had this big hairy, look, kind of like our marketing guy, but more kempt. And it was just, it's just a marketing ploy. But get these. They are. It's not a bulk pack in the traditional sense. It doesn't have these loose in here. They are actually
Oh,
Oh,
stacked
far
up
out.
pretty well.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so don't be afraid to get in and grab one of these. They're about the only things we'll see in the mini mags for a while.
I mean, you say it's pretty cool, but then what happens if you accidentally tip it up?
Well,
Nothing.
for 300 of them.
You shut the lid.
What was the mini mags in 100 packs? $22?
About $22. These are $62. So you're saving a few dollars by not having the extra things, but not one.
Yeah, saving.
So
You're
it's about
saving
the same.
8%.
Yeah, and it's about the same. And most people didn't buy one packet of mini mags anyway. They'd always buy 2 or 3. So you just save yourself a couple of bucks.
Sweet.
What's in there? 100 rounds.
Done.
300 rounds.
We had a guy come in today and he screwed the scope bases down on his rifle, or someone had,
Exceptionally tight.
and stripped the screws, yeah? when you're screwing your base screws down, you want to double check that A, you're using the right screw, because usually bases come with different length screws depending on whether you're screwing it down on the front or the back of the action. Because usually at the front you've got less material in the action than at the back, so you want to use shorter screws. But this one that he'd used, only the last couple of mils of the screw had actually gripped, and then it had stripped. So you want to use the right length screws, but also you don't want to do them up too tight. Two things happen. Going to Torx nowadays has mitigated a lot, but usually with the Allen key headed screws, you would strip the head of the Allen key and then we'd have to drill the bastards out. Or you can torque them up to the right settings. If you torque them up properly, you won't strip them. And also means you can back them off and then do them up again, and they'll do up to the same position if you want to make sure you've got good return to zero on your windage screws and everything. So we've got the digital fat wrench here, fat wench. It's my ulcer on my tongue. The fat wench.
What's your name? What do you call this one?
What's she called?
I don't know, because I don't want to say a name in case I know someone with that name.
Ergonomic. So the fat wench comes with a large LCD display, and it can do up to 100 inch-pounds.
It brings you beer.
Yeah. Plus or minus 2% accuracy. Audible indicator. So once you hit your, it'll go
Click.
beep. It doesn't
Oh,
actually
that's a
click.
digital. That's a
The
digital.
digital one. Yeah.
Sorry, the non-digital clicks. And actually, let's go. So it goes click, clunk.
Yeah, so you can't overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you keep turning, and then you do.
So if you're putting a lot of scope bases on, a lot of rings on and whatnot.
Well, this is
If you want return to zero, if you're changing scopes over between guns, definitely worth an investment.
And
What
this
are
is-
these going for?
The digital ones are, I don't know, I'd have to check. They're in the 200s. But the other thing is, if you're changing your stock out, you want to check your action screws,
absolutely,
anything
yeah,
like
yeah.
that has to do with firearms. It's always about the consistency and being able to do it up again. So, doing the old, I turned it to here and then did half a turn, that doesn't necessarily mean that you got the same torque setting on it each time.
If you put an adapter on it and then put a cheetah bar on it, you can do your wheel nuts up with it.
You can do your wheel nuts up by hand too.
Not torque though.
Done. I know this because
Just
I
go into your elbow clips.
I know this because I had to change 2 tyres the other day.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm so excited about that. Jake has asked, can I ask why Hornady invented the 6.5 Creedmoor and then proceeded not to ship the caliber anywhere?
Yes, you can. Next
6.8
question.
Western can get stuffed at this rate. Well,
yeah, why would you go 6.8 Western? It's fucking 270 Winchester short mag. It's the same thing.
yeah. But I don't necessarily believe
I
that
think
they
it's
have
got a different
not
twist rate
ship
for
it anywhere.
heavier pills, but that's down to the gun manufacturer, not the fucking caliber.
I mean, before COVID kicked off, we never actually had that much issue getting 6.5 Creedmoor in most things. So I don't believe it's that they haven't wanted or, not ship it anywhere.
Well, it's also down to the wholesaler. So the Australian wholesaler for Federal is not a big company, Winchester. The guys that were bringing in Remington weren't as big, but a pretty big company, and they were bringing in Remington. Now, Naya's going to be bringing in Remington as well. Fucking massive buying power, If you can place an order
For a million rounds.
for a fucking billion rounds, for the next 2 years and pay up front, then manufacturers are going to pay attention.
Yep.
But when like Hornady is handled in Australia by 2 wholesalers,
Yep.
who are obviously, even if they've only got the same share of like 50% of the Hornady market, that's only a small, so Hornady is a small section of the market compared to Federal and Winchester and Remington. And if each wholesaler only has 50% of that Hornady market, it's a very small
Pie.
piece of they're not putting in massive orders.
No.
And so Hornady is never going to be really well represented in Australia for that reason. It might also be that, it'll almost certainly be also because Hornady's production capacity is nothing like Remington and Winchester and Federal. So,
I mean, there is one way of making it better, and is that if you like Hornady products, you order Hornady products. You might have to sit on back order for a little while, but if the suppliers can put to the manufacturer, hey, look, we are selling more and more gear every year, then they're going to have to stand up and take notice of that. So sitting there and not buying the product, not putting it on back order, if that's the case, it's not helping you in the future by going, well, I can't get it anyway, so they can stick it up their ass. If they're not going to sell you something and let it sit here and rot. That's not what happens.
And we're not going to put it on order unless we've got demand for it, as you can appreciate. I'd love to order $500,000 worth of ammo, but at the end of the day, that's $500,000 worth of other product that I'm not ordering. You know, so if you want it, if the demand's there, put an order in.
That's what's happening. All right.
Slings.
Yeah, got slings.
What's the fucking picture?
That's coming. Don't worry about that. Colonial leather slings.
Haven't had them for a little while.
Yeah, these are Australian made. They're a fantastic product.
A lot of leather products are made in the Philippines. This is an Australian product.
Really good guys to deal with. I think they're based in Queensland. I'm not 100% sure on that. Sorry, Colonial Leather, if I ever fucked it up.
And Father's Day coming up. Keep that in mind.
They are brilliant
When's
setup.
Father's Day?
September. It's a month away.
October. Have we already had it?
Father's Day.
No. Steph
You're
just,
thinking about Mother's Day.
Steph just normally tells me when it's Father's Day and I go, cool, can I have bacon and eggs, please?
Yeah.
Comes with, I don't know what the metal is, brass, something like that. Right.
Yeah, it's brass.
So, very, very nice. The only thing that doesn't come with is your slings.
Quick detach swivels, which we sell separately. We have got them here.
And we run the, I can't remember what they're called, but they are a good setup. This sling here sets you back about $70.
Beautiful.
I've got them in brown and black and also in different widths across the top here.
We've also got the new Butler Creek one that's come in, which is, if you're wanting a camo slings, it's a neoprene sling, so it won't deteriorate. They're very strong, but it's also in a Cobra style. So there's two main styles. You've got your straight style and you've got your Cobra style slings. The Cobra does spread the weight of the gun out across your shoulder more, so it doesn't dig into your shoulder as much. So if you are carrying the gun for a longer distance, this would be a better sling to use.
Yes, agreed.
This doesn't come with the swivels either. Again.
Might do, in there. I don't know. That's the first time we've actually had that one.
Yeah, well, it's a new sling.
Got your 4440
Makes the
ammo?
gun feel 50% lighter.
No.
Well, they got fucking anti-gravity bloody slings now or something.
They're right.
Well, I actually reckon, I've got a couple of neoprene camera straps, and I reckon
It
that...
says here, it says, Vater fischler visslembler. Chat out, Frenchie.
It's the inside for safety instructions. Do not consume. It's an American sling, so...
Makes sense.
Oh, you just know the world's gone to shit when it tells you, do not eat this product. It's not Stephen
It
Riddell.
didn't actually say that.
Oh, did it?
No, I was just
Oh,
saying.
well, that fucked
Maybe
up,
that's
didn't
what it is.
Like the owner's manual in cars, like 50 years ago, they told you how to adjust the valves. Nowadays, they tell you not to drink the contents of the battery.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. This is also, 50 years ago was a generation of Bill's generation growing up, the baby boomers, who were the ones 20 years ago told us not to believe anything that we read on the internet because the internet's not true. And now that those same people like Bill are the ones that are running around that, my mate at fucking, xyz.com.net.au says that the fucking vaccine doesn't work.
If this picture...
Those people. It's these are the same people that are getting conned. They get conned by Indian fucking people trying to get a fucking donation off them or something. They lose their life savings to Nigerian prince and shit like that.
They're trying to pay a fine with Amazon gift cards.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
to the ATO.
They tried it on me, but it doesn't work.
No.
Bill told him to get fucked.
Yeah.
Or words.
Bill couldn't remember the pin on his card.
Couldn't
More
figure out
likely,
what an Amazon gift card was.
Yeah.
Made his way down there and asked for the jungle thing.
This is a loophole Mark 6. For those guys who don't know, this is one of the best scopes on the market. Unfortunately, it is getting discontinued. It's probably going to get replaced with something else. I've always wanted one of these. I still want one of these. We bought the last two in captivity. So, Loophole Mark 6, what's special about it? Well, it's 6 by magnification, but the thing I really like about it is it's so compact. It's just such a short, nuggety little scope. 34mm main tube.
Because short,
but lots of
fat
grunt.
noodle better than long, thin noodle.
Yeah. Now, what else is about it? It's got a pinch and turn turret. For you guys who've never seen pinch and turn before, you actually pinch the top of the turret and it allows you to adjust it. And then when you let go, it locks it. You cannot move that dial unless you grab hold of it. So as you turn it around, every 5mm, you can feel an indent as well. So if you're in the dark, you can actually just move it and you know 5, 10, 15, you can feel where you are. Zero stop, it's a very positive zero stop, bang, it stopped at 0 perfectly. You can re-zero it on the fly just by pushing the silver dents in. No, I don't.
Are you ready to do it?
Yep, so you just push that in and the scale pops up and then you can just move it around to wherever it needs to be, and then when you drop it back down, boom, it's re-zeroed. I actually got it 1 click out, but that's okay.
I don't have the right fingers.
How do you not have the right fingers? It's like you need pissy little fingers to fucking do it.
I left half my fingernail in there. Alright. If you turn it this way, it's also an extreme long range scope.
Parallax, windows on the side.
Sorry, Shane, no, I've got no 440. 40.
But lots of adjustment.
Got none of the ammo you asked for.
But such a nuggety little scope, like, and the whole rear ring is your power selector. You don't have to try and just grab this little ring. You don't need a throw lever because you can just grab it and turn it. 3 to 18, so big magnification range. This one is in the Horus reticle. That one's in the TMR reticle.
Horus 59.
And they've got a list price on them. But if you're interested in one, come in and ask Trent for see if he can sharpen his pencil a little bit, because he'll be able to.
Well, it depends on how you ask me. And it depends on how much beer you offer.
On the second turn, boom, that little silver thing pops up, so you can physically, like, you can see and feel that you're on your second turn as well. I really like that.
I like it a lot.
It's like a Swiss watch.
Better than a Swiss watch.
Beautiful.
Alright.
Someone's been fucking around with the focus, have they? Yeah, you're blind or something.
That was me. Any more news about the FedEx TNT pulling out of the firearms ammunition transportation?
What news? That's what's happening. You've just listed what's happening.
That's what's happening. There's nothing. There's no news on it. It's happening. I think August 8th or something.
We'll still get all our other products with TNT, so non-firearm related stuff, but we won't be getting firearms. They'll be handled by someone else. So now, as a result of the changing world, changing businesses, coupled with the firearm freight issues in WA, which have been happening for a number of years now, there is one company now with a monopoly on firearm transportation, and if you go to their place, it's quite clear where all the firearms are kept. So this is now a huge, it's gone from a little issue to now, I believe it's going to be a fucking massive safety security issue, that there is going to be a massive amount of firearms moved through one of the freight companies, and so expect to see more firearms hitting the fly.
Awesome. Alright.
Right, so if you've got a nuggety little scope like this, moving on, you've got a nuggety little scope like this, what kind of rifle are you going to put on? You're not going to put it on a big fucking long 300 PRC or something. You want to put it on something with a little short barrel.
Yeah, 300 blackout.
It's a 26-inch barrel instead of 28.
16-inch barrel, 300 blackout.
Nah, 20-inch, 21-inch, 300 Ruger compact Magnum.
Of course it had to be a 300 Ruger compact.
No,
Who
or,
owns a Ruger compact Magnum?
or
Who owns a Ruger compact Magnum?
me. That's what that fucking cartridge was made for, though, yeah?
I don't know.
That cartridge was made.
Somehow we need to for YouTube. You need to fucking put on a dude riding past on a Segway just for that little bit.
Or,
Hang on.
well, what are we're talking about short barrel rifle.
Wait for it. What's the next cartridge that you reckon
This is just like cartridge of the week.
Yeah, which
That's
one's
going to be talking about.
Yeah.
338 Federal.
338 Federal.
Yeah.
Who also owns a 338 Federal in the shop?
Me. Brian's got one too.
Brian doesn't count, he's not a real person.
So, but we're talking about guns with short barrels, yeah?
Yeah.
Why have they got short barrels?
To be easily manoeuvrable.
Well, no, because they make all their velocity in a short barrel.
Yeah, but easily manoeuvrable.
Yeah. Yes, you're not untrue.
That's right. I'm not incorrect.
Incorrect.
I'm not incorrect.
No, generally speaking, if you want a gun with a shorter barrel, then the cartridge needs to make it velocity in a shorter barrel. Otherwise, you get a lot of unburnt powder. It's very inefficient. You get a big flash come out the front. The way to do that is to use cartridges that use faster burning powder, so the powder burns up quicker in the short barrel. And the way to do that is to use underbore calibers. We've spoken about underbore, overbore before. I'll quickly run through it again. So relative to the case capacity, if you've got a big projectile, it's underbore. If you've got a little projectile, it's overbore. This is a 338 Federal, so it's a 308 necked up to 338. It is underbore. If you've got a 300 PRC, big case, little, relatively small project, it's overbore. 7mm Remington Ultra Magnum is even more overbore. The more overbore the cartridge, the slower the powder. Yeah, I use 2225 or 2218 in my 7mm rum, whereas this would use 06H as its powder. You go?
Yeah, I'm going. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, Bill.
Yep.
See you, Bill.
See you,
Good
mate.
evening.
Bye.
Bye.
So all the powder gets burnt up before the bullet exits the barrel. So you're like, yeah, 21 inch barrel. So if you had a 338 Federal, or a 308 even, you would be able to use like a little short barrel gun with this nutty little scope on it, and that would look absolutely fucking mint. I wouldn't put it in a chassis though. You want something light. You want like
Nah, I'd run it in an XRS chassis.
fiberglass style. I'd run it with a McMillan.
Or,
HTG.
yeah, or a Bell and Carlson varmint stock.
I don't like that one.
Well, what about O'Boyd's varmint stock?
No, you fuck those.
Like a little 17 HMR.
Nah, no one likes them.
It's a fucking loophole. You don't buy a loophole Mark
Put it on the
six.
Boyd's.
Put on
Put on a
Boyd's.
Boyd's. What about a Hogue? Let's talk about a Hogue.
Hey, like my new BMW. You know, I've got some new retreaded fucking tyres on it, you know. Bought them second hand.
These Hang Sengs.
The
That's it.
$5,000 scope for a $500 rifle.
That's it.
With my brand new bloody,
Now,
you know, Rolls Royce.
speaking
I've got
of...
the floor mats out of my old car and put them in there.
Yeah. Speaking of things that fucking annoy me. We're on to that. So, last night, sitting at home, had a couple of beers,
As you do.
as you do, and I'm part of a Facebook page, a closed Facebook page for members only. You have to be invited in. It is an MDT chassis owners group, basically. It is a worldwide Facebook page group. I don't know what you want to call it. I'm not that sort of technologically advanced when it comes to that, but I like being part of it, and people post up pictures of their rifles in MDT chassis with what they've done to it, whether it's a cool Cerakote or they've done this or they've done that or whatever. So I thought, you
I've
know,
got weights and muzzle brakes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, I run two MDT chassis myself. I run a XRS on my 6mm and I run an ESS on my 7mm. I've got some nice pictures that our
You run an
marketing...
ESS on your 7.
Yeah, that's what it is there.
You said XRS?
I run an XRS on my 6mm.
Oh, on your 6 mil, sorry.
Yeah. And I thought, you know, our marketing guy, you know, the guy behind the camera at the moment, he took some very nice pictures for me. Why don't I put them up on there, say, g'day guys, I'm Trent, this is my two rifles, I like these things about this. So, did that.
Hurry up and finish having your silk on
No.
that fist.
Couple of hours later, and I'm not doing it for likes or anything, I just want to be part of that community. So,
pick me.
yeah, that's right.
One of them pygmies.
That's right. 30 likes, couple of comments, spoke to one of my mates, and woke up this morning and my post is gone. Facebook have decided that it has contravened their Community Standard Act because I have, thank you very much for that, I have put down something to do with rifles. Leave that.
On a gun group.
On a
Maybe-
gun group.
A
Now-
private gun group.
This particular page has a lot of shooters from WA on it who may have
I
seen
wonder if
this
someone
post.
reported your posts.
Don't know. I was actually talking to one of my mates about it the other day. I was actually talking to on that page, on that little thread, and he said that it might have been because I said, hey, not only do we sell, but we also recommend these stocks. Maybe it had to do with the fact that Facebook doesn't like the fact that you're trying to sell a firearm on Facebook. Maybe that's what convened or contradicted their.
Maybe
their
they threw a
standards.
flag up, someone looked at it and said, oh, that's a gun, and took it
Yep.
down.
So I tried to dispute that. I disputed it, and it come back with, they don't care. If you do it again, we'll suspend your page.
Didn't I have something taken down?
I've had it.
Oh, might have a song playing in the background.
I did up I shared one of our long range shooting
Sorry, baby.
ads. Once that was taken down on Facebook, but there was nothing that was said about it. It wasn't reported. It wasn't then put to me.
We do actually sometimes have
a picture.
Yeah, so it's just a picture. There was just a picture of my rifles. Now, if any of you fuckers from Facebook are watching,
Which you're not.
I want you to get in the mirror and have a good, long, fucking hard look at yourself.
They're getting us all out of
is
there.
filthy as fuck, eh?
Yous are a bunch of fucking idiots.
It's in landscape mode, mate.
I don't give a shit. It's all for the joke. Have a good, hard, long look at yourself and think about what you're doing. Fucking bullshit is all it was.
Do it for the money.
But we do actually have stuff taken off our page just occasionally. Like we have had a couple of live feeds taken down. I always have a copy, and they go on YouTube. So if you're looking for an old live feed and you can't find it on Facebook, it's been taken down. It'll be on YouTube.
I wonder if what else is on YouTube, by the way.
All of our episodes.
Everything I do.
Fucking said that.
Oh,
Well,
I stopped listening when you started talking.
everything I do is on YouTube. YouTube themselves have some very difficult policies for us.
Yeah.
If you can recommend another system that you watch, like is it Full 30? I think is another one that some people use. That's very gun friendly. If you guys use another system like that, let us know. We'll put it up there.
I'm thinking that we should start putting videos on Pornhub.
People have done that.
Well, I mean, most of our male clientele are probably looking around on there anyway. So.
Well, I mean, people with two screens, or Teddy with one big screen.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
Or me with my 56-inch mirror.
The
It's a short porno.
there's only one thing short about that point.
Yeah, the time.
Not even that.
I hope Steph's
You
not
fucked me up. What was I? Oh, you just put a video up on YouTube, on our YouTube channel.
Yep, I put 3 videos up today.
What are they?
What were they?
Last week's live feed. The week before I did. The week before last week, which was the week before, we did one at the Billy Farm through the thermal. I synchronized the audio and the feed up so you can watch Trent shooting and the live and the scope.
And Trent not shooting when we couldn't find anything worth shooting. I should have shot
Yep.
a sheep.
That would have been popular.
Fucking great, wouldn't it?
And I also put up a
With
video.
your shooting as well, it would have been bang. Oh fuck! You're gonna run out there and bludgeon this fucking thing because you can't shit in it.
Should have got closer. It's all about ethical hunting for me.
There's also a video of Trent fitting one of our self-timing muzzle brakes.
Yes, we sent a couple of self-timing muzzle brakes over to the US because we were sponsoring one of their events called the Big Sky event. And a couple of people won our muzzle brakes, and so we will be posting, well, that video is posted, we're going to be sending it to those guys so they know what's going on. How to fit up one of the muzzle brakes. They're pretty simple, they're pretty self-explanatory, but
They are super simple to fit
but
up.
it's I'm really proud of the design. I really like the design. So
It just
they're going to make more.
it cuts up your hands a little bit.
Who had a pretty good, pretty big part of that design?
No one. You had one aesthetic fucking record. Well, there was two ways we could have done it aesthetically. Everyone else did it the other way, and you said, "Oh, can you do it like this?" So I don't like it like that. They'll just do it anyway. Okay, so I did it like that.
There's a fellow with 2 thumbs. It's fucking me. Fucking good. Alright, is that it?
I don't think we've got much else. Well, I haven't been here all week. I really apologise, guys. So I'm going to be even further behind on my gunsmithing. Unfortunately, I have had a crook kid. So my work this week has been sporadic.
Anything happening at Billy Farm mid-September?
No, we leave September's out usually because Sometimes we run private events. We usually run them through September. But we might actually end up going out there, even if I haven't booked one. I'm not sure if I have.
We are.
We're going out September.
There is one in the there was one planned.
What, private event or?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to go out there just us.
It is. That's how private it is.
Oh, okay.
So shut the fuck
There's got to be a lot of
There's gonna be some fighting,
some
drinking,
some fucking.
some fucking. It's just been you.
No, because we are making up our own event. It's going to be invite only, but there's going to be an event that we're running out there, which is like a practical precision.
It'll be a dynamic
event.
rifle shooting. I don't want to call it an event.
I want to make a man event out there, like, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but I'm just trying like a typical man event. Like, you gotta eat like a fucking, eat a pie and scull a beer. And,
Eat a fucking roadkill goanna. Then you gotta drink your fucking hot forex. And then you gotta try and shoot a gun.
well, and you
Okay.
can't mix alcohol and guns and
Yeah.
shit.
Well, I mean,
do you know what I'm liking right now? Michael Blackwell. I like the fact that you just come out and said, can we get some prizes? Yes, you can. You asked, you shall receive. You shall receive. Michael, you get yourself into us, or give me a call tomorrow, and I'll fucking give you a hat. How's that?
I think Blackwell's already got a hat, doesn't he?
No, we did not. Well, I don't know what the head.
You're mad anyway. Hey Mick. Hey Paula, what do we used to call you?
I don't know.
Bunny
I
bear?
don't know. That's one hell of a head. Can you fit a hat?
Yeah. But he's a big cunt, yeah. Big.
probably doesn't want a hat anymore.
I went to school with him.
So yeah, you can get a hat, mate, because you had the fucking balls to ask me. Yeah, you can have a hat. It's one I'll choose. That's probably pink. Might be one of those bright orange ATA ones.
I was going to say bright orange blaze.
At least you want it. So
Good shit.
there you go, Mike. Alrighty. Oh, Tim, alright, pop into the shop
What
and say
specials
hi,
have
mate.
you got on at the
We
moment?
miss you.
Have you guys done specials
No,
for next month?
I haven't had a chance.
All right, well, you're going to have to do specials for next month and next week.
I tell you what,
next
though,
week so we can.
I have.
I need a haircut.
I'm going to do powder. So, if you're chasing 2209, 206H or 2208, get in and see me.
Why would you say it in that order?
Okay, if you want 2208, 2209 and 2206H.
Fucking, why would you say it in that order?
Okay, if you want 2208, 2206H or 2209.
Fuck's sake.
I'm saying in that order because it pisses you off. Come in and see me. I'll give you a special price. They are 1 kilo tubs and they're normally 140, and I'll figure out something that'll work for both of us. Alright? I'm in. No, I haven't got a hat, and I will take pink. Great. Alright, so it's me and this guy tomorrow. 9 till 4 for me. About 10 till.
Yeah, 10 till maybe 4 o'clock.
Whenever he goes. But get in, see us, and try and stay dry. And we'll catch you
It's been
tomorrow.
nuts this week, hasn't it?
Bye, guys.
Right, we go. All right, catch you up.